Welcome to this program on how to use the rope tools to make rope borders. We will show several different styles using the standard rope tools as well as some other tools. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. The tools that we will use in this program are two sizes of the standard rope tools. We use a line pointed beveler, two different regular bevelers that have a checkered surface, and one or more matting tools. For our first project, we would do a simple rope design down two edges of a belt. The first thing we need to do is decide how far we want our stamping to be from the edge, and with the wing dividers, we put a nice guideline on both edges of the belt. The most important thing about this tool is the angle. Now, normally you will start, as you see me here, with the point of the tool right on the line. Right here. Now the next one, and also the point goes on the line. Now, like I said, this angle is very important. As you see, we're getting a nice looking rope. We do not overlap, but you come right up against the previous impression. This is a rather large stamp, so you'll need to hit it several times to get a good deep impression. Very important to maintain this angle and stay on the line. And this is what our piece looks like after we have stamped with the rope tool. Now we can leave it like this, or we can raise it up by using a matting tool. I'm using the M885 matting tool, and as you see, I'm leaning it so that I only get a partial impression, and I am walking down the edge of the rope stamp. As you can see now, by putting texture on both sides of the rope, it makes it stand out where this one is sunken in. This is how our finished piece looks. Please note I have added some detail by using my swivel knife to do some decorative cuts down the middle. Please note that I have scribed a very, very light line in a wavy pattern down this belt. Since this line goes in different directions and we want to maintain the proper distance from our edges, so rather than use the tip as a guide, we will set the tool exactly on the middle of the guideline. Now, very important to stay in the middle, and also very important to maintain our angle. As we come around these curves, every time we do an impression, we do a slight turn with the tool, still maintaining our angle from the center line. Please note that we are maintaining our angle and we're staying on the line. As we turn back in the other direction, please note I am maintaining my angle and staying centered on my line. And just slowly turn the tool for each impression. And here is our finished stamping. Now you can continue with this by matting, decorative cuts, or whatever you want to do to it. Let's do an oval like you see here. Notice I have put a light guideline around, and we'll now use that as a guide for our stamping. In this case, we will start our impression right on the tip of the line as you see here, and we will go all the way around, keeping our angle. It's very important to keep the angle. As we get up here where the angle is sharper, it's important to maintain our angle, which means that we need to turn the tool a little bit for every impression as we go around this curve. So take your time, make sure your angle is right, and make sure you stay on your line. And make sure you do a slight curve for every impression. As we come around to the beginning, we need to make sure we maintain our angle and also stay on our line. And when we get near there, it's a good idea to make some light impressions to see if everything's going to work out. Now, I'm going to have to stretch it a little bit. And we end up fairly good. Here's another kind of rope design that you can do with a pointed beveler. We will start by putting a guideline along the border on each side. And then we will put another line about 3/16 of an inch wider, so that we have about 3/16 of an inch between the two lines. And now we will cut those with the swivel knife. Now that we have our lines cut, we can begin our stamping. Now, you'll notice this pointed beveler, I will put the point down in the cut, as you see me here, and make sure that the side of the tool is parallel with this line. So now we'll make an impression, as you see here. Now we will come about the same distance as the width of the tool and do another one. Now we will continue all the way down. Notice that I am tipping the tool back toward the point just slightly. It's not necessary to stamp real hard, but it is important to keep the side of the tool parallel with the cut. You may have to practice this a little bit, but if you'll notice, I'm doing the same thing with this pointed tool on the other side, but I'm lining it up with this one right here. Set it right in there, and here again, tip it toward the point and strike it lightly. This is how our rope looks after we've done all the stamping. Now we can leave it just the way it is, or we can bevel around both sides to make it stand out. Now we'll just use a nice wide beveler, and and we'll bevel right in that original cut. As you can see, our rope now stands out real nicely. To do this kind of rope design on a curve is real easy. You just make your double line in the shape that you want it, and just make sure that whenever you stamp your impressions, that the side of the tool is always against the cut, and the point is about the same distance as the width of the tool. And now we just go back in the other direction, the same way as we did with the straight line.